Hello, friends. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. Thank you for joining me. I'm just making sure that you can hear me. You should be able to see me. So welcome to this month's January Craft Along, where I will be creating 4 cards using the Made with Love Sweet Collection from Stampin' Up! That went live on January 6th. It's from our new catalog, the January through April 2026 mini catalog. I've been having so much fun with this sweet collection. So if you're hopping on, be sure to give me a thumbs up or a heart. Let me know where you're viewing from. I love the comments. And this video is being recorded so that those of you that spend $50 with me the month of January, you'll have access to this video tutorial, along with a PDF, and then you'll receive the class kit in the mail the very 1st of February. So hello, Brenda. How are you? Thanks for joining me. Where are you joining from? Let's see. I have too many screens up here, I feel like. They're little pop-ups for my program. I might put that one up there. I'm just moving things around. Ooh, cold there, huh, in Wisconsin. So I'm in Fredericksburg, Texas, not too far away from San Antonio. And it was really cold this morning. Cold for us is like 30, 25 degrees. But it's been beautiful outside today. A little nippy, but beautiful, clear skies. So Texas is having a real hard time where I'm at having winter. It's felt like fall most of, summer, and then it went right into fall about December. And we've had like 1 or 2 cold spells early this week. I think yesterday morning was our lowest so far for the season. It was 21 degrees, and now it's up into the 60s. So, 3 degrees. Yuck. Well, I'm not envious of you at all right now. I'm enjoying our nicer weather. All right, so I'll be creating 4 cards today, as I mentioned when I hopped on, and I have some things that I want to share with you real quick before we get into it. I have everything prepped and ready to go. If you're joining me, be sure to say hello. Let me know where you're viewing from. I'm hoping that I'm on YouTube and Facebook. I think it was last Thursday, Facebook shut down right at the end of my live, but like a minute before I ended the live. So all was well, but I'm not sure what happened there. It has something to do with the program I'm using, I think, because when I went to go live today, it didn't show Facebook. I had to log back in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera. So hope you're all doing well. So let me tell you a little bit about what's going on with Stampin' Up! This month. We have a brand new catalog. I'm using products from it. And then we have our bonus days, so January 6th through February 2nd. When you spend $50, you'll earn a $5 coupon. Stampin' Up! Will email that to you directly. You'll just have to hold on to it, save it, set yourself a reminder, because starting on February 3rd, you can use all the coupons that you've earned throughout the month. And I think that goes from February 3rd to February 28th. So if you spend $50, you get $5. If you spend $100, you'll have $10 in coupons. Plus, you'll be getting your stamping rewards On top of that, which is 10% of your order beginning at $20. So every time you place an order, if you've opted into our stamping rewards, you'll be building those. Hello, Charisse. How are you? Thanks for joining me. So if you have any questions about that, let me know. There are a few more details right there. I pretty much covered it all, though, I think. So there's 3 steps on how you earn, you save, and then you redeem. And then we also have a new product of the month. This is a new promotion that started in December. And you can, I think the December product of the month is still available. It hasn't sold out yet. Last I looked, but it's been a while since I looked. So this month, if you spend $75, you can choose either the December or the January product of the month. This month, it is this fabulous saying stamp set. We'll be using it on one of the cards tonight, but you can see a couple of cute samples right here and see all of the sentiments that are included. This is a standard size stamp set that you only pay $5 for when you place a $75 order. And then there's another additional sample right there and a few more details. You can screenshot that if you want more info, or email me at passionateaboutscrapbooking@gmail.com and I can forward this PDF as well. So that's all I'm going to go over right now, I think. I think that's all I know about. So I've got my Endless Love stamp set and bundle. I meant to say made with love sweet collection that we'll be playing with tonight. I've made 4 really fun cards, and we're going to get busy creating. So this is my color palette. I am totally in love with this color palette now. It was a little overwhelming when I first got this suite. Here's papers, like a bunch of the papers that are in here. These are my scraps. I have a whole nother pack in here as well of the designer series paper, but lots of reds and pinks to play with. And then I'm not sure if I have it right here. There is, in the suite, there's this Endless Love stamp and dies that if you bought the whole suite, you would get this, the designer series paper, the little loose Valentine's assortment. We'll be playing with those tonight. We'll even be making a shaker card. And then also there's some bubble bath ribbon that's included, and an embossing folder, which I probably need to figure out what I did with my embossing folder. I think I cleaned it. And I need my brayer tonight. We're going to have some fun. So there's the embossing folder. And we're going to play with the brayer tonight too. I just got that not too long ago. So I wanted to make sure that I did something fun with it. All right, there's that fabulous saying stamp set. We're going to use this one, Sending Love Tonight. And you can see all the wonderful, fun sentiments. Overall, great for any occasion. So this is really a must-have. So I'm going to set that aside right now. It's like I put lotion on, but I zoomed in a little bit more today so that you could see the card making better. All right, here are all my kits. I'm going to pull card kit number 1 out, and we're going to get busy. Let me put it in a safe place over here, and I'll just grab it in a minute. So we're working with Flirty Flamingo, Strawberry Slush, Poppy Parade, and Real Red, and a little bit of Tuxedo Black as well. I incorporated a little bit of black into all my cards. Oh, and before we get started, I wanted to share just real quick, I whipped these up too. So for Christmas, I was going to do a Christmas market. Look how messy my hands are already. The 1st of December, and that's when my stepdad went into the hospital and he passed away first part of December. So I had bought all these Post-it notes because I was going to do it like a Christmas market and had to cancel that because of what happened. I don't know what I did with, oh, and I also bought like a gigantic package of these Velcro dots, self-adhesive dots, because this is what I originally was going to make. I made a few of them, little Post-it note holders that fit really, really good in the totes, and I don't even remember what that is called. Totes and something. It was from summertime. But I decided real quick, I made little Valentine ones with all my love. Wouldn't this be so sweet to give to somebody? Or if you do like a Galentine's event, you could even decorate up a cute pin with it and give that away. And then also, this is one of those old ideas I had from close to my heart years ago at the binder clip and then some chipboard. I did mine 3.5 by 3.5, and then I just grabbed a post-it 3x3 post-it pad that I had. I didn't have any pink or yellow colors in that, but just wanted to share that with you. I might do a reel or a video on that later, but right now, really, we got to get busy creating these cards. So let's do that. I'm just getting everything positioned so that I can do my work properly here. All right, we're going to start with, let's see, our stamping. There's very little stamping on this one. I think everything's just about pre-cut. I am going to cut a heart out of this. We're going to use the Endless Love stamps. I must have, I have a few things on blocks already. So let's get our stamping done. I need to use my brayer more. I have no idea what all we can do with it. It's been years and years and years since I played with the brayer, but I have a fun one today to use with the embossing folder. All right, I think I just need those two. So let's do Sending You with the Tuxedo Black. I think I just re-inked this. So I'm gonna start with this one right. I'm gonna go close to the left edge of that. And I'm gonna try to move fast, but I do wanna clean and put stuff back if possible. I don't even remember where it was. So I'm gonna pull that off. We'll put it right here for right now and just see what happens. See if I can make it all fit back in there. When I have some time, I'm gonna stamp some cards, how some of the other demonstrators have been doing, so that I'll know where the stamps go back at. And it'll just tuck in there maybe. I'm still trying to decide how I want to do that. I'm getting a little warm. 1 second. We're talking about 3 degrees, and here I am getting warm. Of course, I am wearing a sweatshirt, so just guess I'm going to have to suck it up. I'm going to do this at an angle right here. So there's that. And then this one, I'm going to cut straight on this side and at an angle right there, kind of the same angle. And then I am going to die cut these pieces. I think that's most of our stamping. I didn't clean that like I said I was going to. I'm going to bring over I'm going to move my keyboard real quick. And we'll do, I think we can get all of these at the same time. Now I need my Endless Love dies. And these are the dies. I'm loving this. All right, so I'm going to do XO on that little piece of, I think this is the real red. And then I'm going to do this tag on the Flirty Flamingo Designer Series paper there. And then the big arrow on the black. So let me just line these up and hopefully I can get them down without having to use any Post-it tape. Okay, I think I got it. Brenda has a flannel on, a shacket, and a heated blanket. Goodness. I've been kind of chilly all day, but then just right now I'm starting to get kind of warm. All right, so there are our die cut pieces. I don't know why on this particular one I didn't already cut those, because I think I did die cut a lot of the rest of it. There's scraps. And again, as a customer of mine, when you place a $50 order, you'll get these card kits pre-cut. You will need the bundle because some of these you have to stamp and then cut out. All right, so let's score our cardstock. So I have a 4 1/4 by 11 here. So I'm gonna score it at 5 1/2. This is Poppy Parade is what this one is. Okay. I hope by being a little bit closer up, y'all can see this a little bit better. Pulling up my sleeves. I'm gonna wish that I'd filled up my water here a little while ago. All right, these are 2 by 4 inch pieces, and I'm just going to dovetail all 3 of these pieces. And that's just how I do it. If you wanted to line them up and do them all at the same time, you could attempt to do that. I just like to kind of eyeball it. They don't have to be perfect. I love this paper again because it's got all these different shades of red and pink. And they really do look nice together. All right, so next we're going to put this piece down first. Let's see if my glue works. So I'm going to angle it a little bit, but kind of center it about 1/4 inch from the edge over here. And then we'll do this one. Has anybody played with this collection of products yet? And I'm going to do it about the same height. It just overlaps a tiny bit down here. And then this one is going to go up just a little bit higher right in the center. And we'll get right in here so about like that. I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of stamping. Since this is the Poppy Parade, I'm going to use the Real Red. And I totally missed this little stamp. And usually I really like those kind of stamps, but right here is this little splatter looking. So I'm going to gently tap that in there, and I'm going to just put it in a couple of little random places. They're not really random. I want to make sure I don't have any extra ink anywhere. So kind of in a triangle. This one I'll do right up here. So just a little extra something. I'll put that there because I tried to go back and add it to all my cards. All right, this is going to get cut. So I'm going to just cut it like this. It's going to go right in here somewhere, but we need to take care of this first. All right, I have a little strip of that bubble bath ribbon. It's about 3.5 inches. Doesn't take a lot, but we're just going to put it up there like that. And I think I'm going to do what I'm going to put this down, and then it just makes it that much easier to tie off the baker's twine. All right, I'll tuck those in here in a minute. I'm going to do this up a little bit higher because I want to put my sentiments down a little bit lower. So I like to use my self-closing tweezers. And then I'm using two about 12-inch pieces. They may be a little bit longer, that more like 14 maybe. 12 is probably plenty actually, but I'm going to just tie that right there, pull it tight, and then make a double bow. And I just kind of like it long like that. Now we'll trim it down a little bit. Maybe I'll bring it in a little bit more. So you can make this bow as big or as tiny. And if you want to keep it within the width of the card, you could totally do that. And then I think originally I used the small arrow, but this will work. We're going to use the big one this time. Just a tiny bit of adhesive. And then just kind of want to get it. If you have a, what do you call it? A dimensional back there, cut off a little bit extra. Like I'm going to cut off about that much. So all I need is that showing. Okay, that looks like it's going through. It'd be awesome if I knew where my other tweezers were. Okay, these little die cuts, the X and the O is from the dies. Well, I showed that to you already. I didn't have it pre-cut. I already forgot. All right. And I think you always want to put the X first for hugs. So hugs and the kisses are the O's. Okay. And we're getting really close to being done with this one already. I'm just going to use some dimensionals. See if that, I think that'll be fine. You could add one more if you really wanted to. And we'll pull this one off. So how was everyone's weekend? Did anybody do anything fun? I'm going to overlap it just a bit. I think I'll bring it even further over. So we'll hugs and kisses. And this is perfect, sending you hugs and kisses. All right, I think it's time to bring out take your pick tool, because these little hearts are tiny. I want to make sure I get the right side up. I'm going to just put some randomly, and then along with some of these little shaker bits, and these are going to be my embellishments. So these little pieces can be cut using this little die. So you cut 5 at a time. And I'm going to put one like over here. So we'll just do 3 little clusters. And then let's do, these are flirty, I think this is actually strawberry slush, the little hearts. You want just a little bit of adhesive. Where'd it go? I can't see it. There it is. And we'll go up here. Just a little dot. You could also put a little bit of glue on your silicone mat and just dab it in there as well if you're afraid of too much glue coming out. And then we'll do some of these cute little envelopes. They're just the cutest. So not just for shaker cards. I want to kind of make it at an angle. And I think I'll go over here. And maybe at a different angle. Isn't that cute, just with that extra little pop? Go right there. Pop of color. All right. That was just an extra heart. So there is card number 1. I didn't decorate the inside, but I would totally encourage you to do that. All right, we're going to set those aside. I'm going to make a pile over there. So let's do card number 2 next. This is the one we're going to use the brayer on. I love it. Okay, we have another real red. This is actually Poppy Parade background. I don't know why I have that on there, but let's see. I think I'm missing one piece from this. Maybe I didn't get everything cut. Because I need, let me see what piece this is. I just really need a scrap. This is the 4 by 5 1/4. So this is what we're going to dry emboss. And give me a second while I find some scrap. And I'm just going to do a 4-inch piece of this, because we need to do a bit of stamping ahead of time. Hello, Pauline. Sorry I didn't see your message earlier. All right, so let's do our stamping first. And we will do black with the Sending Love from the January Product of the Month stamp set. I'm going to play with my camera just a bit. There we go. So I just need to stamp that once. This is the card. I did a reel today with this card. So I need, for this one, Poppy Parade, and I think I used Flirty Flamingo because that's the color in this pattern paper right here. We can set that aside. We need this stamp and this one. And I think I'm going to clean this before I make a mess. So I have a cool reel that shows you how to put this card together really fast. But now I'm showing you step by step. So we'll do this stamp. So what I need to do is get some re-inkers. That one looks pretty good. I think I got Flirty Flamingo re-inker the other day. And then this one we're going to do in the Poppy Parade. I'll just do it about right here. Okay. Put those away. I'll use the Poppy Parade. Actually, I'll use the real red in a few minutes. But here we can, and let's pull out our piece that we're going to dry emboss. Everything else can go over here to the side for a moment. Okay, let's do our die cutting real quick. And I will have to do a little bit of fussy cutting, but I'm going to show you how this is really fast. This is the piece that, or the die that works with these two stamps. So that's pretty good. So I'll have to run it through 2 times to get both of those cut. So there's that one. And this one could be just a little bit tricky. There we go. I think that's good. So that Fabulous Sayings, I think is what it's called, does not come with die cuts. So you'll have to fussy cut your words out if you don't put them on a label or something. So we're going to fussy cut them out real quick. Oop, I'm going to keep this here. I just remembered, let's do our dry embossing while we have this out. So I need plate number 1, and then I need to get my plate number 4. Okay. And then we need this piece right here, but you know what? I am going to have to move it anyways, just for a second. So I'll move it because I have to show you what we're going to do with it first. Okay, I've got my brayer. I'm going to use Poppy Parade to go along with my card base over here. And then we're just going to open up our embossing folder. And I want to do it on the back side. So I would say this is the front side with the logo on it. So when you put your paper in this way, this is embossed. This is, I think, considered debossed, and I may have that backwards. But we're going to use the debossed side because that's how we're going to get the color on our paper. So we're just going to roll some of the Poppy Parade ink on here. If you need to add more, you can. Set that somewhere safe. I'm going to actually go put it over here in my sink because I really don't have a lot of room on my table. All right, now we're going to take this piece and we want to center it right in there, just like that. Don't let it move around. So hold it tight. Then I'm going to bring in my machine again and sandwich that between plates 1 and 4. And we're going to dry emboss. And it's going to add some color. I don't have this set up back here very well today. I put a little extra table back here, but give me 1 second while I rearrange. Okay. And then when you lift this up, this is what you get. Look how cute that is. And then just rinse this under the sink when you get an opportunity, and it washes right off. All right, I think we have everything now ready to go. I actually already scored this. So again, this was a 4 1/4 by 11. Once you get all the pieces done, it goes together really quickly. Let's see if I left my glue out too long, if it's clogged up or not. Yay, it's still working. Okay, make sure you get lots of glue because there's that pretty embossed side. We're going to put it down like this. And then I have a 2 by 5 1/4 inch piece of the DSP. We're just going to center that. Can't believe how messy my fingers have gotten. And I think it's because of the brayer. All right, and then, hope I, did that the right way. Then we can just glue this piece down too. I didn't poke all the little pieces out, but you would probably want to do that. I can probably still get them out, but I'll worry about that later. All right, then these 2 pieces, we're going to overlap on here. I don't remember who designed something similar. My background's a little bit different, but I think I saw a card on Pinterest that had this top part, these hearts, kind of set up like this. So if you recognize it, that would be why. I'm going to kind of angle it. And then this one, I just want 2 dimensionals right there. And then I can put a little bit, because it's going to overlap onto the open heart. Kind of like that. And then I'm going to take the real red and that little, those little dots. Just want to make sure you don't have any ink around the edges. I'm going to do, see the dots that are, there's 4 dots and then 2 dots, I think. I've been doing the 4 dots toward the, it doesn't really matter. You can do it however you want. This one, I'll go up in here. Just remember, be careful if there's any ink on here and it touches, it will mess it up. Guess how I know that? All right, now we'll take another arrow and I'm going to cut it about right there. Get a little glue. Again, this would be really great to have my tweezers right now, but all right, so I want it to go out about right there. And then this one, maybe cut it off about right there. And just, whoops, eyeball it about right there. just so it looks like it's going through or behind both the hearts. And we still need to fussy cut this out. So I'm going to get rid of some of this excess. Save that because I can stamp something else on it. All right, and then just fussy cut kind of wide, and it goes a lot faster. Don't have to be super intricate. And what's kind of cool about this font is, and the way, and I guess the word almost reminds me kind of like a heartbeat monitor, you know, the up and down. So when I cut it out, I was like, oh, that's like really cool with this design, sending love and the hearts. And you don't have to be really accurate in cutting around all the little letters. Just kind of go in and around. Normally I would go a little bit closer, but I kind of like the way this looks. Okay. And then I think I'm going to grab my minis because they'll fit a little bit better. So yeah, I think it takes about 5. Hello, ladies. Sorry, I've had to scroll my comments up. I wasn't seeing comments. I don't know why it doesn't just move on its own. So thanks, Julie and Penny and Sharon. All right, and then now we can just kind of decide where you want to put it. I'm going to put it down right about there. Okay. And then we need a little ribbon and bling. So let's do, this is about a 14-inch piece. Probably doesn't have to be quite that long, but however long you like to make it. Because I'm probably going to trim a little bit off. Just get it to how you like it, whatever your preference is. Let's put a glue dot down. I'm going to stick it right up here in this corner. And then I'm going to take this real red and white baker's twine, and it's about the same length. I leave a little bit longer tail because I just like that look lately. That's my preference right now. I'll trim those off here in just a second. Let's go ahead and tack it down with another glue dot. And I'm just going to set it right on top of that bow. Maybe you want an extra glue dot or two, totally up to you. And you can separate them out if you want to, or just leave them as is, kind of untwisting them. If you want those, I think I want these just a little bit shorter, but not the real red. I love that. Just even if you want to pull these apart so you can see that it's 2, you could do that too. And last but not least, let's grab, this time I'm going to do a little lips. It's kind of hard to tell, but I am going just to put a little bit of glue. Let me see if I can get some out. Okay, just barely. Now, a glue dot might be better, but and then I'm going to do another little, there is a little heart right in the middle. If you can see it, then you might want to make sure your heart's facing the right way. I'm afraid I'm going to squirt out a bunch of glue. There we go. Just tap it with just a little bit. All right, I think that's it. That's card number 2. Again, don't forget to do the inside. We're not doing that tonight. All right. Next, card number 3. This time we're going to use some real red cardstock and that cute X's and O's paper. You could use either one of these. So let's do our stamping, and we have a little bit of dry embossing to do. I think that I saw this design too. Something similar, but in a totally different color. Put those up there. All right, I'm hoping that I have some drink in my mug. Yay. All right. Let's do our stamping first. We're going to do Valentine's. So what's cool about this collection, it doesn't have to be Valentine's. It could just be love, friendship, galentines. Let's see. I think I want to go ahead and pull this off. Be careful. And we're going to stamp this in real red. I've been trying to stamp closer to the edges of my pads because apparently that's where all the ink is squished out to. Okay, just like that. But if you do need some Valentine cards, this is the perfect set for this year. All right, black is what I want next. And I'm going to pull over here. So my stamps have been well loved. I'm going to do happy and day. And I'll put that back on there. They're going to need a good cleaning here in a little bit. All right, so I'll do happy on the real red. I'm going to do it on one end. So I don't know why I cut this strip this long, unless maybe I meant to cut it in half for something else, because we just need the happy and the day. And then I'll do that one about right there. Yep, you could get another happy and day over there as well. I think this is 5/8 of an inch wide, I believe is what I chose. And then I'm just going to cut them with my scissors. Let me see, I think that'll work. I probably could have centered it a little bit more. And then a little bit closer here. If you wanted to angle them, you could, but I just left them like that. All right, and then we need to dry emboss this piece. Uh-oh. You know what I just realized? I gotta clean that real quick. Thankfully, I have a sink over here, and then I gotta get it dry. I probably should have done this one last. Okay. Other than looking at the screen, all right, so I didn't even get it all off, but I'm just gonna wipe it clean with the paper, with a dish towel. Try to get it pretty dry. I didn't plan that part out very well, but it's all good. I think we're good. I'm pretty dry, I think, and clean. I'll even wave it a second. Okay, so this one, again, I'm just going to center it. Then I need plate 4 and 1. I wish I could show y'all where Jasper is laying right now over here. He's trying to be close to me. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to jump up in the middle of all this yet, because he did earlier. But I have piles of stuff over on my other table. I see a little smudge right there, but just is what it is. Then maybe I can cover it up with a little heart or something. We'll see. I didn't score this one, so 4 1/4, because this is a 5.5 by 8.5. We are going to have to do a little bit more die cutting, I just remembered. All right, so this piece, we're going to grab the heart that looks like this, and I probably should have cut this first, and then, let's see here, because it's the same one that cuts this out, but we're going to cut this out right here, because it's probably going to smush my embossing. So I didn't think through this, and I was changing up this card a little bit last minute, so I think that's part of my problem. So let's see what we can do. We're going to cut a heart out of this piece. Let me see what I got going on here. I'm out of order. All right, I want it about right there. Can y'all see that? Let me move this. So up a little bit higher than center. Y'all can probably see it as I run it through here. And then I may have to go through and dry emboss again. Sharon says she just got her order in yesterday. Now all of this, you can save this piece for another project, because I'm using the contrasting color. I think I'll be okay. My dry embossing doesn't look too bad. But if you wanted to run it through again, you could try to line it up to get it a little more bolder, but I think we'll be good with that. All right, now we can piece everything together. All right. I love the dry embossing. It adds so much to your card. Make sure the fold is the right way. This one, I'm going to see if I can get the... So like I said, you could do either side. I'm going to do the X's and O's. There we go. I'm going to angle it. This piece was, FYI, 3.5 by 4.5. I'm just going to angle it right here. So push it over to this side a little bit, where it's about 1/8 of an inch maybe from there. And then this is going to go over on this side, and we're going to pop it up with some dimensionals. So you'll want a few. This would be a fun one to make into a shaker card too if you wanted to, but I'm not going to, because I have a little shaker element for the next card we're going to do. I have a pile of trash over here. If you feel like you need another one right there, I probably will. it would probably be a good idea to have one like right there. All right, so then I'm going to line it up like right there. I think I got it pretty straight. Now you can leave it open like this if you want. I was thinking it might be cool to, the only problem is I'm just going to have to glue it down. I'm not going to be able to pop it up, but I kind of like that it was an afterthought. And I was like, this card, this is what I'm doing on this one. I have another sample I'll show you, and then you can decide which one you like the best. So you just want to lay it down in there so this fits just perfect. Press it down. But this is popped up, this is not. So you have that look. All right, and then we just need to add, this is something fun I wanted to do. You can do your, see if I can get my ribbon through there or not. Should be able to, there we go. And then we'll hold this down. Like this. Well, maybe. I don't know why it's, I think I have some glue on my finger that it's sticking to. Try that again. Okay, got it. This time I just have one piece of baker's twine. If you want to do two, you can. But kind of like want it right up to the card base, so that cardstock right there. Pull it tight, and then you've got these two you can kind of pull apart. I think I need to angle those just a smidge. And then you can decide how much of that you want to leave. I'm going to just leave it like that for now. And then this piece, let me kind of look. I may want to do it a little bit different this time. Don't think I want it way up there. I liked it kind of all right here. So we'll do this piece. Maybe not so much red hanging over, since we got red and red. I think I got glue on there. Luckily, I don't think it smeared the ink. I didn't pop these up at all since it was kind of popped up with that already. And then maybe do right there. All right, now embellishments. Let's see. I had some black hearts on my other one, but I didn't cut any extra. So let's look. There they are. At these, and maybe we'll just do white this time. I think that'll work. So let's decide where we want it. I'm going to put one right in this corner. Then there's two. Oops, there's just one. Sorry. And maybe I'll do one right here. Again, try not to get too much glue. I got a lot of glue that time, but I think it'll dry pretty clear there. And one more white. And I'll just do one floating up here. And then you can kind of forgot about that. I don't see the smudge. Can you see the red? I don't see the red anymore. Maybe there's a little something right there, but okay, I think that is done. One more card. That's all we have. All right, if you want to cut those down a little bit more, you totally can, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So very little black on that one. Let me show you the card that I made so you can decide which one you like best. I thought that got a little too busy with the little hearts, but you've got two options there. And then let's do our last one. I'm excited about this one because we have a shaker element. All right. We have a flirty flamingo background. So we got to do some dry embossing on this. And we've got to die cut this. I got to stamp those two pieces, and that's it, I think, for the moment. So let's see. This one, I'm going to be using the Stylish Shapes dies, and I need this second to the smallest one. No, I think it's this one. Yeah, so the third one. Okay. Oops. Okay, I have to remember to dig that out from under my cabinet now. It's the only thing I don't like about this cabinet is when I drop something, it almost always goes up under it. But oh well, it is what it is. Okay, dry emboss stamp. We're going to stamp this with Poppy Parade. I think. You know what? I'm going to stamp it with Real Red. We need the black ink pad. Okay, I'm going to put these over here because I don't know where these little hearts are coming from. All right, this time I'm going to use the big love stamp. I think I can fit it on there. Good. It might be fun. Let's try this. I'm going to do this a little bit different. Just because I've seen a couple of people do this and I kind of want to do it now. I thought about it. It doesn't look like that came off. 1 second. Okay, I'm cleaning my stamp. I'm going to do the top with the Flirty Flamingo and the bottom with the Real Red. So hopefully I'll get a two-tone fun look. I got a little bit more than half. How cute! That's cute. We'll go ahead and just real quick, I'm gonna fussy cut this out too. Doesn't take very long. It's just kind of like a bubble going around. Maybe dip in and go around the O just a smidge. That's simple. Oh, that's cute. All right, and then this one, I need it facing this direction. Let me put my ink away. And let me do the today and always this time. So it'll end up saying love today and always. And you want to stamp it. It's pretty much center. I'm trying to move it over to the flag over here, the banner side, just a smidge, but it pretty much just fits in there because I'm actually going to just cut that circle off. So I just have a little banner here. All right, what's next? So I've got those pieces. I'm going to put them over here with the rest of my pieces. I had my ribbon. Sorry, I'm disturbing the cat. Okay, dry emboss and die cut. Good thing I cleaned my folder. This time we're just going to do white. But this time I want it facing this way, so my hearts are the right way. So just center it in there wherever you want. Yeah, I think I managed to use the embossing folder on every project tonight. I don't know why I moved it away. I still got to do my die cutting. Okay, so there's that one. But then I got to change my plates out. Put it over here with the stack of stuff. And we're going to, haven't even told you what I'm doing or for my kit, but I'll show you in just a minute. It'll be a little surprise. So I'm going to take this and position it right in the center there. So we're cutting a hole right out of the middle. Now I can move that out of the way. So you have these pieces. That's just extra for another project. You can put it over there with that heart. And I bet I could make something real pretty out of that later. All right, so I think I got these with one of my artisan boxes last, May probably. But I'm using the dome shaker pieces. And now there may have been a better circle punch, I think a 1 3/4 inch punch maybe, that would have worked perfect with this, but this was the best size that I could find. So that's what we're going to use. So if you're a customer of mine and you place a $50 or more order in January, you'll get one of these in your kit. So you can make this card too. All right, let me move all this out of the way because I got to score. I don't know why I scored some and not the other. Yes. So I'm going to score it 4 1/4. And then I did something I don't think I've done before on this. I mean, it's very minor. It's not like a big deal, but I was like, oh, here, let's do this a little bit different this time. We're going to take this. I think it's 5 by 4. And we're going to position it on this piece, but you're going to come down to the bottom. I'm not sure if I cut it right because I want it flush on that end. But I also want it all the same width, so I guess I was off on my cutting. So let me fix that. So instead of being, I think it's 1/16 is what it actually is. See if I can think that was right. So it was 4 1/16. I know. It's the first little line right after the 4 inch. That gives you that really thin border. And then we'll adhere this. So it's going to be a landscape. You're going to put it down at the bottom, centered, flush to the bottom, and then you have a common border on 3 sides. So just something a little different. You could totally, just because of the size that I had the paper cut is kind of why I did that. All right, this piece, make sure your hearts are going the right way. I'm going to tear off about 1/2 inch right here. Just tear it towards you. I don't want it at an angle that way necessarily. Just so you can kind of see that torn edge. And then we can lay this down about 1/8 of an inch from the bottom. Okay, so it just brings in a little bit of designer series paper there, and then you've got this. So let's determine how we're going to do that. So I just took and poured a few in here. Determine how many you want. And then I'm going to hold it and flip it over like that. I got to figure out where I want it on here. This is just the best way I figured out how to do this. But first, you want to see where this fits best. So about right there, you can go at an angle that way or at an angle the other way. Totally up to you. Get it kind of centered where you want it. Pull that out of the way. Okay. And maybe scoot them. That one needs to be pushed up in there. You just want to try not to mess it up too bad. So they're kind of just right there. And then you're going to take this end off. And now you can stick it right back down. Approximately. That's close enough. And then this has another piece you peel up. Now, if y'all have a better way of doing that, let me know, but that's just what I came up with. Okay, and then this, I'm just going to try to get it centered there. I think that works. I want to move it over that way just a smidge. And this size, you can just barely feel the stickiness right there. So if it's still tacky, you could put some anti-static pouch on there if you wanted to. But I think that's going to work just fine like that. And then this time, let's see, we'll do that last. Let's get all these pieces. Oh, I love how that turned out. How cute is that? I'm just going to put 2. Just brings all the colors in. All right, we're going to put it right about there. And then this one, we'll use some mini dimensionals. I think I'll do 3. And then we'll put it right. I'm going to keep it about right there. And do a little, these are the mini arrows. I'm going to put this one right down here. Let's try to get it straight. And I'm going to use a mini dimensional and put it on the back of this little heart, which I cut from this die, from the Endless Love dies. I really wish I could take a picture of Jasper right now in my pile. He's got his head sleeping on my phone case. I have to take it off. when I do my lives. And I'm gonna do, I have two baker's twine. All of these are the same length. I'm gonna just tie them at the same time. So they're gonna be all kind of twisted up together. Or you can do it how I showed you earlier too. You can also just, my fingers are a little sticky. But now I have just this wad of ribbon and my glue dots. Maybe I'll do two this time, like on either side of the bow. It'll hold it together a little bit more. Eee, that's getting kind of crazy. All right, and then I was just going to put them right up in there. And this is where you can trim these down just a smidge so they're not too long for this particular one. Just like that, and just kind of play around with them, get them how you want them to look. I'm just going to do it like that. And one little shaker element. I'm going to use the Flirty Flamingo. I don't have enough room over here this time, so I think I'm going to put it up here. So I'll do right there in that little nook. If you want to put any more, you can, but it's not wanting to stay. It's sticking. All right, that is it. There we go. How cute is that? All right, well, thanks for joining me. Thanks for being here. I haven't done a very good job of watching comments, but it didn't look like we had a ton. I've just got a mess over here, but I'm going to pull in all. I may have to zoom out a little bit, but I'll pull in all the cards so you can see what we created tonight. And we had that one and that one, I think. And let's see, I might can get them all on camera right here. Not quite. All right, let me zoom out just a bit so y'all can see. Let me find my, there we are. All right. So there we have my January craft along using the Made with Love Sweet Collection. When you place a $50 order or more through my website, the month of January, you'll receive the card kits for all 4 cards. Everything will be cut for you. You'll need to dry emboss and do your stamping. And so you'll need the Endless Love bundle to finish that up. You'll get the bits and pieces for the shaker elements along with the ribbon and the baker's twine to finish off your cards. You could use any embossing folder you wanted to, but if you want that, I don't even know the name of it. I brought it over here, but I don't know what I did with it, but that pretty heart background, then, or maybe you're a demonstrator and you have all these products already, so now you can recreate my 4 cards. But as a customer, you'll have this video to refer to along with the PDF file, and you'll get your card kit along in the mail the very first part of February, so you'll have time to make them for Valentine's Day if that's what you want to do. All right, I hope everyone has a great evening, has a great week since it's Monday. I have no idea if I should call this Make It Monday Live now, like I have been, or I have a new title for some of my stuff called Create With Me Monday. So that's what I'm going to start doing, my reels, Create With Me Monday reels. So maybe I'll stick to 2 different ones. We'll see. I'll make up my mind here pretty quick. So, all right, y'all have a great evening. Thanks for joining me. Thank you, Charisse. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll answer them if I'm able to. So God bless you all. See y'all Thursday night for Restoring Joy Through Scrapbooking. I am going to go ahead and do my live that night because I'm been missing it, but I know that the card retreat is happening during that time as well. So I totally understand if you won't be making it. I'm just going to watch the replay. I got my card kit, my card retreat kit, and I'll be doing it periodically over the next week or 2 to get my cards done. Can't wait to see what we learn, all the fun techniques that we can use in our businesses moving forward, or just our craftiness. So all right, y'all take care. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.